Alright, today we're going to try something a little bit different. I wrote down from a YouTube video that I saw. I think it was talking about Stoic philosophy as described by Seneca. I think that was from him, where I got this from. Anyways, Stoic journaling. Let me just read you what I wrote here. Stoicism isn't just about thinking, it's about action. The best way to improve is to review. Every day, examine your day and your actions. Focus on important happenings, especially those that have ethical value. So ask yourself 4 questions. What did I do well today? Where were my ethics tested? What did I do bad? And how can I improve? Journal based on those 4 questions. And after you write those down, you have to think about it. If you think you did something that might have compromised your virtue, then don't beat yourself up. Accept it and implement improvement. Regret isn't a solution. Rectification is. Yeah. It's really not enough to apologize. You have to do something about it to make it better. Because if you don't improve yourself, then the apology is simply empty, because it's most likely to happen again. So an apology without improvement is no apology at all. Or in this case, no regret is not a regret at all if you don't do anything to improve yourself. So I think I'm just gonna follow this basic framework for these videos now on. Just so I don't ramble on so much and not go anywhere. So, first question. What did I do well today? Today I brought my computer and this book called 1 Million Followers in 30 Days. I think I already told you a little bit about it, but it's a book written by Brendan King. Yeah, I already told you. So I brought my laptop and that book to Tidali, the restaurant that I'm doing marketing for. In my lunches, then just started working. I came across a video of Denlock where he talked about how he doesn't read books, but rather uses them instead. And on that sense, that is how he is able to read between 2 to 3 books per week. Think about it, 2 to 3 books per week. That seems quite a bit, but he went on to explain that if you use books instead of trying to simply consume them, then it's a lot easier to get through them a lot more quickly. So kind of using books instead of like a wealth of knowledge more as a guidebook, because after all, if books aren't useful, then what's the point? So yeah, basically what he said is that once you have a strong basis of knowledge in one particular field, then any kind of book that is related to that, you're able to skim through a lot more quickly, because there's a lot of content that you already know about, and it's just finding like 1 or 2, 3 things that can up your game in that. So I guess in my case that's quite a bit more useful, because I'm used to dabbling in a bunch of things and in a bunch of areas and sort of finding the common points. I won't get into that much to avoid rambling, but yeah, anyways, use books as guidebooks, pretty much. So that's what I did with 1 Million Followers by Brenda Kane. Um, Basically, I read the first part where it talked about understanding your goals, your motivation behind them, and sort of what um, you would expect about your overall life once you do accomplish those goals. Because that's sometimes it's something we don't consider. We have a goal in mind, but we don't consider what comes after that once you accomplish it. Because otherwise, it's just an empty playing field. So always have like step 2 in mind. So I took that with the marketing strategy that I'm trying to develop for Tight Deli. I won't really go into it all that much, but I'll just tell you the basic questions that the book made me ask about that strategy. So it's like, why do you do what you do? What do you want to achieve? So, understanding the basic situation here, Tideli is like is a Thai restaurant here in this town. It's not a chain restaurant and is pretty much limited only to the local population. Sometimes during seasonal stuff, there's more people coming in, but apart from that, it's pretty low traffic here in this town in general for all restaurants. So, pretty much the first goal that I'm trying to accomplish is to make the return of investment a lot higher. So the amount of work that they're doing per day is a lot higher than normal, and the amount of revenue that they're generating, I feel doesn't exactly match that amount of work. So pretty much bring in more money for the amount of work that they're doing. So the basic goal is pretty much to be able to empty out the stock that they have there daily. It's like a cafeteria style restaurant. So the first goal is to be able to have all the shelves completely empty. Or not shelves. What would you call it? Trays? I can't think of the word, but you know what I mean. Anyways, that's the first goal, and based off of that, or rather I should say, I'm trying to approach that goal by having a larger social media presence. Basically just bringing in a lot more people in. So that's something I still have to figure out exactly, and I think this book is going to teach me how, but yes. And the next step, what will happen when you reach your goal, once that's achieved, it's pretty much solid proof that the social media marketing strategy works. So I have the authority to be able to sell that kind of marketing service for other Thai restaurants. So pretty much expand the concept of Thai Deli as only a restaurant to having its own marketing agency, and while offering that kind of service for other restaurants. And then the third question here: how important is your goal to you? I did not answer, and I don't plan to answer it now. The video will be too long. So, moving on to the next question in the Stoic framework. Where were my ethics tested? Let's define ethics again. I'm a little fuzzy on that definition. A set of moral principles, especially ones relating to or affirming a specified group, field, or form of conduct. Let's see something here. Okay. They mention here utilitarian approach, the rights approach, fairness or justice approach. I'll just take this as how good I am for my decisions or not. Okay, well, today I don't think it was tested so much, but more of an improvement that I had on my usual rut on. I've noticed that I am most productive when I am doing things outside of the house. Even though I have my own room and I'm left alone and in complete silence, which is great. Somehow staying inside the house doesn't help me be as productive as when I'm outside of the house for some reason. I don't know. But taking on that idea, that's kind of what I did different today in that sense. Just bringing my laptop and that 1 million followers book to Titeli is also a pretty quiet place. I think, you know what it is? I think it has to do with the amount of space that there is, the amount of space that I am in. Because when I was doing the quarantine supervision last week, I noticed that since my room was bigger than in my normal room and other rooms before, I've actually got a lot more done. So I kind of feel like my productivity is largely affected by the amount of space that I have around me. What if I work outside? No Wi-Fi. Too bad. Anyways, so question number 3. What did I do bad? That I didn't stay there longer. I don't think so. I just didn't really do much today, I guess. Sort of all over the place with mundane tasks, spending time with family, and yeah, I guess that there's a lot of time that is used going between activities. I usually like to schedule my time so that there's long time periods for activities. So I would have like maybe 2 or 3 per day. That's when I'm able to be a lot more productive in that sense. But then there's other days where I do a lot more when I simply dabble here and there. Kind of like what I'm doing with exercises, where I only do exercise when I feel strong. I also sometimes take that approach with all the works that I'm doing it only when I feel inspired. That gets quite a bit done. The trick is being able to stay inspired consistently. Varied but consistently by week. Not quite sure how to do that. If you have an idea, let me know in the comments below. But okay, the next question: how can I improve? I don't know. What did I do better? Well, I mean, I guess I could just stay working there in Thai Deli longer. Yeah. I feel like if I did, I would get a lot more done. That way also, I'm not tempted to do a bunch of other things because I can't bring everything that I find fun over there. It's just too much. So sort of limiting myself the usual things that I like to go into helps me get it done faster. Something I can look into is sort of to write down all the different things I need to get done and seeing which ones I need to get done first so that I'm already progressing in the other ones automatically. I guess this sort of comes back into Dan Locke's idea of using books as manuals rather than a wealth of knowledge. I already have a basic amount of knowledge on the fields that I'm trying to get better at. So, like, I'm doing a lot of stuff, like rewriting the Stoic and Enchiridion by Epictetus. I am studying Instagame by Bastus. Also studying this 1 Million Followers book. I mean, there's a lot of things, but if I start implementing them, I feel like one habit leads into another. Sort of like if you do squats for a certain amount of weeks, eventually you develop enough strength where you do one squat, you kind of feel yourself lifting up in the air. It's like a natural movement, easy, that leads into a jump. Kind of feel like it's like that with all the sort of things that I'm studying. So maybe not putting a priority to getting things done, but rather actually using them. Yeah. I feel if I start doing that, I would be able to start using the other things from the other things that I'm doing. Don't you love my specificity? Yeah, I mean, say for example, if I focused on this one Stoic principle, the idea of focusing only on what is in your direct control. The idea here is that what is in your direct control are your judgments, your progress, your desires, and your aversions. And what's not in your direct control are pretty much the results of that. So your body, your properties, whatever you own, your reputation, how others see you, and your positions, how you rank, and or what your status is in whatever it is that you do. So all that is not in your control because that's a byproduct of what is in your control, again, which are judgments, progress, desires, and aversions. So here it says, before you spend time doing something, ask yourself if it's in your direct control or not. If not, then don't waste time and focus only what is in your direct control. So what I could do for tomorrow, let's see. Tomorrow I have Qigong, tennis, and after that, nothing pretty much. Yeah, so tomorrow I'll just spend more time in Thai Delhi. Fuck it. Yeah, I'll just do that. And go through these basic steps for the 1 million followers. I have a feeling that's gonna work the best for me. I'm also trying to grow my own Instagram account. It's not exactly growing, but it's getting the results that I'm looking for. If you know what Instagame is, you know what I mean. I'd show you, but the pictures are on my phone, so. Anyways, I am getting very good results, and I like that. So, thing for tomorrow is stay at Thai Daily longer and yeah, get more stuff done that way. So that is the task for tomorrow. And oh, also get this thing started. The Daily Stoic Journal. It's a gift from my friend who's like a second mother to me. Yeah, the Daily Stoic Journal by Ryan Holiday, if you know his name. Pretty famous dude within the Stoic community. Yeah, it's kind of like the same thing as the structure of this video that I'm talking about. Pondering on a specific Stoic lesson per week, and sort of like a question guide for morning and evening reflections every day. So like for the first week is focusing on all the dichotomy of control, what we just talked about, what's in your direct control or not. And so the first question here is, for the first day, what things are truly in my control? So I would reflect on that on the morning, and then I would reflect on that again on the afternoon. So kind of giving myself a heads up what sort of attitude I should have for the day, and then an evening reflection for seeing if I actually did that or not. It's kind of useful. I think it's sort of the same thing I'm doing with the videos here. I'm doing more of like the evening reflection only, but to prep myself for the coming day, that's going to be useful, I think. So this will be useful, and yes, that's about all I have to say for today. Do I want to connect this to a marketing principle? No, I do not. I'll just quit this video, stop talking, and see you tomorrow.